You hear a low growl as yellow gas begins to billow out from the arrow slots of the tower. A plume rises from the top up into the clouds, and through that plume you see the silhouette of a young dragon. Hey there, Dungeon Masters, Cartoon Lark here with another epic boss battle on how to make your game the best one ever. This week we're going to be looking at VENOMFANG from the Lost Mine of Phandelver, but the tips we give today can apply to any young green dragon as a boss. This boss battle is going to be broken into 5 stages. Starting off, stage 1, let's get some cultists involved. When your adventurers first arrive on the scene, the dragon may or may not be in its lair. But what you want to do is you want to start to build up the idea that the dragon is there or it's soon to be back. I recommend introducing cultists. If you're playing in Thundertree, have the party meet the cultists before they find the dragon. If they happen to go straight for the dragon's lair and they bypass the rest of the town, I recommend that they find all of the loot that's in the tower and then the cultists find them. Stage 2, the reveal. After a brief conversation with the cultists, either yellow smoke begins to billow out from the tower and uprises the form of the young green dragon, or if they've already looted the tower, instead you see a shadow zip over the town, and as it comes back around, landing on the tower is VENOMFANG, the young green dragon. At this point, the cultists should offer whatever offerings they have, maybe a few small diamonds to VENOMFANG to try to earn its favor, and they should also offer the party. This is where VENOMFANG says, I accept, and initiative begins. Now stage 3, rounding them up like cats. At this point, the party is either going to try to fight, or run, or escape, or they're going to decide what they want to do from here. But VENOMFANG wants their hides. So instead, he's going to do his best to use his fly speed to outpace the party and keep them round up in the middle of town as much as possible so he can use that breath weapon, describe that yellow smoke coming from his mouth. If we don't want to demolish the party, especially if they're level 3 in the Lost Mine of Phandelver, I recommend him never using his multi-attack to attack them more than twice. He could do 3, and maybe he'll spread those 3 attacks amongst 3 opponents, but he will not just demolish one single party member. He wants them round up for that big breath weapon attack. Also, in this part of the initiative, I would recommend that the cultists are doing their best not to hurt the party, but to round them up as well, to try to get them all stuck together, make it difficult to escape. I highly recommend that when VENOMFANG moves from one party member to another, to not have him disengage. Let the party get those hits in. It's going to feel like they're actually doing something against him, because as always, I recommend that the boss should have his maximum hit points, and a young green dragon is about 208 hit points. Let him have those so that he never has to disengage, and the party can feel like they're getting a hit every time he moves from one person to the next. Alright, stage 4. If VENOMFANG can get at least 2 or 3 party members lined up, this is his chance to use the breath weapon attack. It hits for some heavy damage, so make it worth your while. Describe it so well, because this is probably the one breath weapon attack you're going to give this creature in this combat, especially if you're running the one from Thundertree. Once that burns out, then the party's going to have to make some heavy decisions. If anybody is still up, they're going to decide, are we going to keep fighting this thing, or are we going to get out of here before the next breath weapon attack happens? This is such an important part of the combat, so make that breath weapon feel unique and important, and just use it once. Finally, stage 5, the escape. Whatever happens first, if the party survives that attack and they decide to run, or if some of them get down and they're just going to abandon that person's body, let them go. But before they go, have VENOMFANG cut off one of them and just ask him the question, who are you? If the party has a group name, this is an awesome opportunity for them to say what their group name is. Or perhaps that individual will just give them their own name. Either way, we're giving VENOMFANG a rival so we can bring him back later. If the party instead does at least 100 hit points of damage to VENOMFANG, bringing him to half health, describe his bloodied status. So he's starting to take on wounds, he's getting tired, you see a limp, or his wings aren't working properly, and at that point, have VENOMFANG ask that same question. Who are you? Let the party answer as they see fit, and then have VENOMFANG do his one disengage and start to fly away. Now he makes his escape and he gets out of there, and again, he can be brought back as a rival later on with a little more knowledge of this party. A young green dragon knows they've got millennia to live, and they're not going to waste their life after a few hundred years on a little group of adventurers in an abandoned town. Let him make his escape. This makes the party feel like they chased him away, or they got away from a green dragon. So if they feel like they had an epic encounter, the boss gets to come back later when maybe the party's a little bit stronger, and maybe he's a little stronger, or has grown a greater following. And it can be a great callback for a future adventure in a higher level campaign. For more tips on how to make your boss the best battle ever, be sure to subscribe, and I will play you later.